Hello everybody again and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host Mike and with me is the old-fashioned ninja.
Kage, how's it going?
Good, Kage. You getting ready to bounce around to talk about one of your favorite places, Asia, today, huh?
Well, it is one of the better places to be, I guess, if you know what you want.
Yeah, and I appreciate all the feedback from the listeners on GTH. A lot of listeners like that one. It's bringing all sorts of crowd to the channel, newcomers as well, and we appreciate that. We haven't done anything on GTH in a while, so we appreciate all the new GTH listeners that have tuned into this show and have subscribed. We really appreciate your subscribership, and we'll continue to go over a lot of the trending stocks that are out there, and some we'll give your feedback whether we think we should touch these or not going forward. Just due to the looming, what should we say, contraction, extraction, one of the two there of what we see going forward with the increased stagflation that we're going to see, which is going to affect a lot of, the overbought market, let's just put it that way. Going into the first stock we're going to talk about, this is from one of the listeners there. We should probably give him some credit there. He wanted us to cover that. We'll give him a shout out there. Okay, so it looks like the listener is Dan. So we're going to name him Crypto Dan because Dan has a lot of interest in crypto. One of the people you want to hit up, Dan, out there is Price Rescue, our listener. If you go through the comments section, he commented on today's video. He does have a crypto show on the WhatsApp app. If you want to hit him up, we'd like to call him a crypto expert. We could send him your way. Maybe we can convince him to come on the show with us there, Kage, and give some comments about Price Rescue has made a decent amount of cake in the crypto market there. Maybe we might have to have him on the show sometime and do some covering. I'd like to get his analysis there, huh?
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, we might have to hit up Price out there because Price knows his crypto. The first stock we're going to talk about is AABB. AABB. Sorry, tongue-tied. Last tick was 0.1100. Asian Broadband Incorporated. Going forward on this one, this chart on here doesn't look too bad, actually. You do have some upticks there, Kage, from March 21st, obviously. We know what that famous is for, all the hype about the possible $5 trillion in spending, and that goes to pot because we can't afford it. And if you think we can afford it, by all means, and put your angles in the comments. I like to hear all the funny jokes there. Asia Broadband operates a resources company that focuses on the production, supplies, and sale of precious and base metals, primarily the Asia markets. The company operates through its wholly subsidiary Asia Metals. Asia Broadband was founded on January 24th, 1996 and is headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada. Going forward, Kage, to StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are at. What do you have for me on StockTwits as far as some of the comments? We can go first with the bulls, that's fine.
Okay. This is a comment from Unbeatable One. He says, AABB bullish. He says, you can short all you want, but remember, AABB is already profitable, pays a dividend, has several gold mines, and has a pile of cash for expansion. This one is not an IF. It's big when next year earnings should weed out all the shorts and put this one in play without manipulation for good.
Right away, right what he said, that's putting me on the interesting mark right there. Because as we know, gold's only going to continue to go up. Your dollar currently, what do we say? We're probably at realistically about 90 to 93 cents to the dollar is what the actual dollar is worth. Going forward with stagflation, it's only going to get worse. You're going to see all these companies go to correct each other. What I want to see here more, maybe we could find out on the news deals here, is what is the production level of the gold? Because we did see with a gold company we covered last week. I believe it was ARI, was it? Or AURI? Something to the effect of that. Do you remember that one?
A little bit.
That one, we cover so many of them, but that one had a ton of production in it. Going forward, if we can get the production numbers, or we can get going out forecasting, that's going to be a big deal because you're going to see a lot of these commodities, gold companies, and things like that going forward that are going to keep on increasing as long as their numbers are there. You want to also look at reoccurring revenue assets, things like that. If they're doing, we don't know, we haven't gone into the background and things, and this is why we go into the traders, because some people are like, oh, how do you know the comments on StockTwits? Because people, there's experienced traders out there, guys, and you can learn from them. So it's good to read the bulls and the bears, so you know what you're actually putting your money into, and you can get takes from people that have gotten burnt or people that have had success and made money. Going forward with this, Kage, you have AABB is down 40% in a month. This is from Top News Guide. The company announced, this is a week ago's news, the company announced it would launch the Novo crypto exchange, the AABB wallet. The launch is in the first place of AAB wallet exchange rollout as part of the repaired proper functioning stability and incorporation of a different component module. So they are obviously branching off into this, so that's where you're getting this wave here and there, is because you could ride decent news breaks on this Kage as well. It says trading data on Friday, this was a week ago, AABB stock moved 4.68% to 0.1387 and more than 2.50 million shares compared to its average of 47.43 million. The stock has moving average between 0.1250 and 0.1427, opening trade at 0.13. So going on to the twits there, what other receipts do you have there from this?
Here's the one from the Mantis. He says, bullish, AABB. What do we mine? Gold. What do we have? A crypto.
Mm-hmm.
What do we back it with? Gold.
Mm-hmm.
What do people want? Crypto. What do we have?
Mm-hmm.
An exchange.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys are going to see this movement. I'm going to tell you my take from all the people that I see on the underground from crypto. Don't let this China stuff scare you, because they actually want to take that model, a lot of the governments, and they want to go to the one world currency where they're basing it off of the China model and things like that. So some people are freaked out about the crackdown and everything. Don't freak out about that, because you're getting all these different players coming in, and they're making all these different cryptos, and you're constantly going to see, they're going to try, the big dogs are going to try to control it. The problem is that there's too many people operating, and you're just going to see all these new deals, and you're going to see these secondary economies being created, and this is futuristic. I've heard of the players that are involved in this. Some of the names we can't mention on YouTube, of course, Kage, because we will get censored. But for one example, the ideas behind some of these from some of these gentlemen, they are going to create an infrastructure so they can do separate banking and bring their people to that banking to where they don't have to, as far as, so they can't get canceled, things like that, and they can't shut down their operations. So because that's what's been happening. You've seen some sites where they got their sites pulled off the plug. You might not see this in the Alphabet news, or some of the Alphabet news will be like, oh yeah, but you can't have voices censored. And when you have companies that are being censored and they're taking offline people for their voice, I think everybody should have a voice. Even if you're talking about whatever conspiracy theories you're thinking of and things like that, don't you think, Kage, people should still have a voice and be able to talk about that, as long as they're not threatening violence, correct?
Yeah, that's how free speech works.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. As long as you're not threatening violence or calling for violent revolutions, things like that, then you're fine. But I mean, if you're doing that, then you're crossing the line of, you can't do that. So there's just some things you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. But going back to the crypto, with these separate economies being formed because of the negativity of social credit scores and things like that, and the pushback, this is a decent move. Plus you have the gold aspect there too. It's huge that they have. I like companies that have several different streams there, because it brings lots of aspects and lots of news breaks too. If you're shorting out there, you need to follow these news breaks. I'm not saying this specific company, but these specific plays will break per news item, and they're more secure because they have the physical gold asset, or they're not saying this one, but other ones have oil, or crypto, biopharmaceutical, things like that. I had one troll go on to me, Kage, one day, and he's like, oh, how could you base this? Because what I saw was in the pipeline, bro. And when you see what's in the pipeline, and as that news breaks, it's going to carry that way, and the person that bought this on the dip is going to carry it and short it and make money. So that's why we called he could call me a clown, whatever, but a lot of the people that are trading that, they're going to make bank because they're following that news pipeline. They're being smart about their money instead of listening to what the Cartoon News Network or one of those companies. Speaking of the Cartoon News Network, didn't you cover one of those there, Kage, on there? There was a take on there someone put on Cartoon News Network?
Yes. This is from Aldier from Investor Hub.
Okay.
What he says is maybe news from CNN that has more employees.
You want to repeat that again, man? Sorry.
Maybe news from CNN that has more employees.
Yeah, interesting. Sorry, I just have to, anything that has to do with the Cartoon News Network, it's a laugh. So what else you got?
All right, another quote from Stockwitz here from.
This is remember the twits. If you don't mention the twits, Kage, they're gonna troll you all day long. It's the twits, not the wits.
It's the twits.
So
yeah, this is a comment from Jugen_FL. He says AABB. All of the bears on this board are paid bashers. I blocked M10, and now we have M10 Part 2 named Ote. So now I need to block him, get it?
yeah,
If he was a real person that owned stock but had concerns, they wouldn't need to make a part 2.
my take on that one is to these guys they're getting trolled by these guys. Tell them, say, dude, if you're a bear, bring your receipts, man. Because we covered one yesterday that's in a lawsuit. That's a physical receipt. If you're not bringing the physical receipts, it's all noise. There's no signal there. It's all noise. You're just blabbering talking points and things like that. We need actual receipts of if you're gonna be a bear it out, dude. You got to have the receipts for being a bear. Then maybe people will listen to you. But if you're just gonna go on there and troll all day, you're gonna get blocked, man. So what else you got?
Yeah, he continues to say, retail can't short this stock without paying the daily borrow rate, which is ridiculously high most days. It could be the market makers paying them to help manage their big short position, yes. They could also be paid like companies like Coin. Our competition, but what they are overlooking is we have a gold mine to token crypto.
Exactly.
And we are fiat free.
Yeah, fiat free there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing there is that this is going to be safer as far as a play for if you're looking at stocks to watch. This would be a safer play than say, who knows with some of your places with supply chains if they're going to be able to keep things moving. You're at automotives, you have chips, certain retail industries. You're going to be short on supplies. We're already seeing that with businesses all over. You guys can look around. I mean, unless you haven't been around the world in the past 2 years, you're starting to see and more the crunch as you see the crunch of the trucking industry pulling back. You're seeing supplies overseas, especially the other thing that's not carried over, Kage, is this the variant overseas. That variant, hopefully that's not as big as what they're saying from what I'm seeing. But if that comes over to roost around April and March, who knows what could happen in production in Asia. Let's hope it doesn't do that, but let's hope everything's back to normal. But this could, I'm seeing things that are going to get worse before they get better. So what about you?
I'm seeing this stock only getting better. This would definitely be a definite watch, and this might be a good thing to get into if you want to do crypto or gold.
Yeah, it looks like interesting. Exchange users will now place and sell buy orders to complete cryptocurrency trades for available trading pairs and familiarize themselves with the crypto exchange platform. The company's management and develop team are highly delighted and attained a milestone of activating the exchanges in the initial stage launch. So there you have it. Available trading pairs include AABBG, USDT, and SHIB, SHIB, AABBG, with additional crypto pairs expected to be included in progressively this month. Beyond the holiday season, the mobile applications and desktop versions of the exchange will continue rolling out. So there you have it on that. That was a plug from last week on that. What else do you have from Investors Hub there? Okay, guys, the next stock we have is UNQL. UNQL, last tick on this Kage was 0.0645. Here's the graph there. We're seeing some movement on the chart towards the north range. Obviously, you had your high end because that was the Q card entrance. Going forward there, Unique Logistics International engages to the Provisional International Logistics Services. The company was founded in January 23rd, 2004, and is headquartered in the People's Republic of Jamaica, New York. Going forward from StockTwits and Investors Hub, because that's where the semi-real traders are at, mostly on StockTwits there. What do you got on the twits there for this company?
I'm seeing mostly bulls for this penny stock. This is a comment from Alex Limo Vegas. He says, bullish, UNQL. Some goofball dumped 126K at close.
Yeah, you're going to make a lot of enemies when you do that one, man. When they pick that one up, yeah, that's always fun on those. Keep on going. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, he continues to say, nothing burger. Shouldn't be read today, but tomorrow is another day.
Mm-hmm. This one is currently...
That's a nice take, I think.
Yeah, well, that was a good take. And the other aspect of this is on a promotion list. It's currently being spat out on emails everywhere. So there's a lot of rooks on there, and they probably watched a couple videos, listened to somebody, and said, hey, jump on this. You're going to make wheelbarrows full of money, and then look what happens. So you get stuff like that. Hopefully they sold at a win and not a loss, but that's to be a person to be named later there. Going forward, PR news, or this is Cision. They had a plug here on January 14th. It says, the rapidly growing logistics and freight forwarding company today announced they're filing their current report on Form 10Q, reporting financial records results for the second quarter, first, and current financial year. Second quarter net sales increased $280.8 million. That's or 225% versus the second quarter prior, which was $405.4 million. What do you have on the twits there? I'm sure this is going to be there's going to be some interesting ones on here.
This is a comment from Going Long with 3Gs. He says, bullish, UNQL. I wouldn't pay much attention to today's close. It's artificial because we had insider financial flip our gains today. Mm-hmm. That's what they do. They'll make a YouTube video and buy momentum and then sell away.
And that we get
all sorts of sell pressure comes in, and then they leave.
Yep.
Luckily, it didn't hurt that bad because there's no dilution in this stock.
Yep, and that's the difference between this and other videos, which some people say is that we talk about buying this. We go over this because we don't want people to make these mistakes. That's why we're going to the promotion videos, to try to get the word out, to tell people, hey, don't fall for this kind of crap. Do your homework and do your research and get to the bottom of this so you don't get caught, because Esquilo Friday will come and you will get taken, and you don't want to be that person to get taken. So that's why we bring you the takes from the real traders out there. Do you got anything on the hub at all for this? Okay, Kage, so we got on the website here, they got 30 years of first-class freight service. They're a full-service freight forwarder committed to providing the highest level of service. They offer more than 30 years of deep experience. Air freight, first-class services at a lower cost, working in a partnership with leading commercial and charter flight operations. They have the ocean freight, whether the shipment warrants LCL or FLC service or combined purchasing power, the customer approach outreach the best rates, customs brokerage, they have a licensed custom brokerage staff, they got the domestic distribution warehouse, insurance and things like that, and the DDP fiscal representation from the origin of destination, so you can go look at all the services that they have. Going forward with this, it's been around for 30 years, so that's decent. The stock price, a little bit concerning. The website's concerning as well. It's seen 30 years, but it is what it is. But going forward on it, with all the disruptions and everything, that could put a hammer. Obviously, the promotion's showing up, so that's why we're seeing this movement. It's going to go a little bit forward, but like you said, what did they say? Some dillweed dropped 175K shares because he shorted. Like I said, Hopefully he wasn't one of those guys that picked up with the brokerage firm and then all of a sudden got out real quick after he lost a bunch, because he saw it on a promotion list. That would suck. So, wish we could have got to him if that's the case, but who knows? What else do you got on this?
This is a quote from Golden Cross on Investor Hub. He says, Unique Logistics International stock was booming at the previous close as it surged 16.67% to 0.0007. The UNQL stock recorded a volume of 21.93 mil against the 30-day average volume of 3.38 mil. During the last 52-week period, the UNQL stock value ranged from 0.0147 to 0.3812. UNQL stock jumped following the release of its quarterly results. So, one thing, quarterly results looked good, and that's why it's up and being promoted, looks like.
Wouldn't you say the X factor in this stock right now, and this is just speculative right here, guys, so you can call me on it if you want, but let's just say after the Olympic Games, this variant that's over there that's mysteriously galloping around China gets out, and that has more effect on as far as the movement with this stock and as far as other freight and trade stocks with it. Because people don't understand how much material out of there. 93% of your pharmaceuticals come out of China for the United States right here. And so with this, that's why you saw shortages during COVID for some of the supplies and why they had a lot of more manufacturing, a lot of the stuff there because we ran out. Is because of those supply chains being cut. We're in a worse situation than we were 2 years ago. Whether you like it or not, putting all politics aside, it just is what it is. But speculating on this, there's already a squeeze on the freight companies and everything, getting unloaded, shortage of hands. If that breaks out, and stuff comes to a screeching halt, this obviously affects this stock, and that's something that a future investor should have to consider in this, don't you think?
Absolutely. This is something that, unless the shipping the lines and
which I don't see happening,
the supply keeps where it's at, it's only going to get more difficult to acquire what you want.
Yeah, there's certain like you could even see playing out. There's certain shelves in this country that are empty completely, and then there's certain shelves where you go where there's missing things like white wine, cheap white wine for like cooking wine off shelves. This is certain stores. Some stores just that they just ran out of their supplier. Certain stores are done. They were planning on closing, and they just decided to close every store down because they ran out of supply with the supply chain. That's good. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer about that, but that could affect that. This could be affected by this even worse than. That's great that we're having movement now, but that's just something to think about. Is a form of speculation to think about what going forward with this. I've got a plug from September with Micro Cap Daily because you have to talk some of the positive about it. The stock is looking to make a move back towards 52-week highs. Back then in September it was at 0.3813, reaching in February of the year after the company reported quarter two. So it says UNQL is doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year in revenues, which is great. But it does not. It does because of the serious debt problem that has plunged the company, and also the massive dilution in recent months. So you have that another aspect with this going forward is the serious debt and also the dilution there as well, because all this crap, it's just debt going forward on throughout the system, which is bad. Obviously. Hey guys, so going forward on this, Kage says there are no bears. So there's no negativity on any of them as far as is there any bears that brought anything but didn't bring receipts, or are we just the normal trolls here?
Looking through, I don't see ones that have receipts for this stock.
If you have no receipts, you are not relevant. That's the only problem, is you got to bring your receipts. Even if it's from the Cartoon News Network or All Bolshevik Media, one of those things, you got to bring the receipts. At least it's relevant to, you could analyze what they're putting out. So even if they're putting out cartoon numbers or bringing their pom-poms to the show, trying to get you to put your money into this so it gets dumped out and everything, you gotta cut through the noise and get to the signal there, right there, Kage?
Yeah, you need to see what everyone else is saying about it and not necessarily listen to the naysayers here or there that are few and far between.
Yeah, because there's a lot of trolls that make a lot of noise and they can't back it up with the receipts. So that's what we try to do, is we try to cut through some of that there. So going forward on this one, I would say that obviously if we were in a normal world, it's definitely one to watch for sure. But if we were in a normal world, Kage, I would say, yeah, this is definitely, definitely, we should definitely find a way to figure out where to put this on the watch there. But I'm skeptical going forward just because of not to do with the company, some of the down trend of the company, of some of the things that are going on, has to do with the situation the past 2-3 years. Okay, so that's what there's so much uncertainty in the air here of what's happening that you just have to put it on a watch, and then if you're getting in, just know that you have that looming over your head, is what I would say. And for this week, obviously it's on a promotion list, so be prepared for Friday when they sell off Skilo Friday. So, but on Skilo Friday, you could speed on the highway, just don't get caught by the cops. That's if you have cops around by you. So, what else you got? Anything else on this one? What's your take on this one?
I think this take is definitely worth a watch. But throwing
you're saying
doesn't necessarily always solve the problem.
You're saying your take is worth a watch?
Well, I have to say this take for this stock is
worth
a watch.
Okay.
But you have to back up those claims with action. You can't keep throwing money at a problem and expect the problem to go away.
And that's the problem that we have here, is that we're throwing money on there. This is not gonna correct itself. So, like we were saying.
Yeah. What you do need is people who are willing to put their shoulder to the wheel.
Go back to the beginning of the show when we started this a long time ago and compare where we are now from where we are here. So, you'll go back and you'll be like, dang, I wish I would have listened. So, anyway, I'm out on this one. What about you?
I'm out on this one too. I don't really have anything more to say other than just stay focused, listen to watch what people are doing, not necessarily what they're saying, and keep safe out there.
Yep. Don't make it a dog show. And good night now!